Very odd story surfacing in the last 24 hours from American electronic music artist Moby, who wrote a Facebook post on Monday saying that he spent the weekend talking to friends who work in DC and that he can accurately make some extraordinarily damning claims about the Trump administration. We'll put up Moby's post from Facebook here, where he talks about having spoken to Washington insiders who told him that what is in the Donald Trump Russia blackmail dossier is not even close to the most nefarious thing that Donald Trump is currently being blackmailed for. And Moby says in this post that we're looking at that his sources told him that Trump is in collusion with the Russian government and has been since day one. He said that the GOP and the Koch brothers have plans to get rid of Trump, that there are intelligence agencies around the world working to present information that will lead to high-level firings and ultimately impeachment of Trump. And he said that the U.S. is planning to go to war with Iran and already moving naval fleets to Iran's coast. And Moby added in this post, I'm writing these things so that when and if these things happen, there will be a public record beforehand. These are truly baffling and horrifying times as we have an incompetent president who is essentially owned by a foreign power. Now, in response to the skepticism that surfaced right after Moby did the Facebook post, he then went onto a different social media platform, Twitter, and tweeted about the skepticism, where he said, quote, and I'll put this up on the screen for you, most of the info I referenced is of public record or will be relatively soon, also hoping Trump-Bannon Iran war plans are thwarted. So much of this is definitely not public record as of today. Trump is being blackmailed for worse than what's in the dossier. That's not public record today. There are world intelligence agencies planning to release information on Trump. That's not part of the public record. But again, Moby said, or will be soon. Trump planning a war with Iran, I mean, we kind of have a sense of that. It does seem that that's something that the groundwork is being laid for. That the Republican Party is planning to oust Trump, not public record, but we are increasingly suspecting that there's a contingent within the Republican Party that's more and more displeased with Donald Trump. And then Trump overtly colluding with the Russian government. Well, this one, we basically know everything but that they were in touch, that Russia hacked the election to help Trump. The one thing that hasn't yet been proven is that there was actual collusion. I would love for Moby to give us more information or some of that proof if he has it. I don't know that he does.
This reminds me of after the Access Hollywood Billy Bush tapes came out, where Donald Trump talked about how he grabs women.
Yeah.
People started to put the pressure on Mark Burnett, who's the executive producer on The Apprentice, to release some of the stuff that he had on Trump, the dirt that he had. And that never actually came into fruition. Those were just words. I mean, these are actions here. And if any one of those is legitimate, that's an impeachable offense.
So there's a ton of speculation about what's going on with Moby, right? Moby could have just made this up completely out of thin air. I don't think that's likely. I don't know, but I get the sense that he's not just going to say, hey, I'm going to go on Facebook and just make stuff up wholesale. Moby could be misinterpreting what he was told and maybe getting a different impression of what it is. It's also possible that the people Moby spoke to, and I believe Moby spoke to people, it's just a question of do those people actually know, Moby's sources themselves could have been either wrong, misinformed, or exaggerating. And also Moby could just be actually right about some of this stuff and wrong about other stuff. It's also possible Moby is 100% right, which would be, without a doubt, the biggest scandal of American politics in the last, I don't know how many years. I mean, if the allegations from Moby are 100% correct, this goes above and beyond what any of us have suspected over the last several months.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you want to cover from the very beginning, because if more information does go out, then you can kind of go back to the source of all of this, which was Moby's post.
Most of these claims are what I would certainly call extraordinary claims, not in the colloquial sense, but sort of the idea that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. I know not everybody likes that phrase, but the sort of point I'm getting at is, if Moby is making these claims, which are not proven currently, then we need to see evidence of the claims. Moby claiming alone is not actual evidence, and until we get that, we just have to suspend judgment. Funny little note, Moby was reportedly asked to perform at Donald Trump's inaugural ball. Imagine if he's actually the guy who previews what are blockbusters of information upcoming, and he happened to have been invited to perform for Donald Trump.
Well, I think just about everyone was asked to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration, and they had to settle on the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
I like that Mormon Tabernacle
they're great.
Choir. Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. Their rendition of Ozzy Osbourne songs is like nothing I've ever seen before. Discuss this or any other stories of interest on our Reddit discussion forum. davidpakman.com/Reddit. We crack ourselves up sometimes. Let's take a break. Part 2 of my interview with Peter Boghossian coming up next. Today's episode of The David Pakman Show is made possible in part by Warby Parker eyeglasses. Warby Parker recently did the right thing and ditched advertising on right-wing conspiracy website Breitbart, pulling their ads off. And you can get the free 5-day home try-on from Warby Parker. Check out their glasses. I use them when I'm not wearing contact lenses. I started with the free at-home trial. They send you 5 pairs of glasses. You see which ones you like. You send them back, and whichever one you pick, they will put your prescription into. I like this because I can actually show the glasses to other people and not have to just decide on the spot like in an eyeglass store. The eyeglass industry is controlled by very few corporations that keep the prices very, very high, even over $300 for prescription glasses. With Warby Parker, they start at just $95. Mine costs that, including lenses. And for every pair sold, they give a pair to someone in need. So to try the 5 pairs and support the David Pakman Show, go to warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS.